I want you to know most people waste so much time recruiting the wrong people. They waste even more time training those wrong people. And then what happens is when those wrong people don't work out and pan out in business, those people quit. And then you get burnt out. There's a difference between quitting and burning out. Quitting is when you just give up. You didn't even try. Burnout is when you try and you're actually working, but you're doing things wrong. Or you're doing the wrong things. But you feel like you're putting forth all the effort and then it doesn't work and eventually you give up. There's the difference. See, burnout is giving up. Quitting is where you just never even tried. What most people do is they spend all their time with the wrong people and then they burn out and they quit and then they go, it's not for me. It doesn't work. Here's what I want you to know. The Avatar blueprint fixes that. Okay, it fixes that. That's why I did the whole thing. You don't build a powerful team that retires you by recruiting everyone. You build it by recruiting with precision, by recruiting the right people, putting your time, effort, and energy on the right people. Yes, you need a lot of volume. We do recruit 100 people a month, 3 to 5 people a day. You need the volume in order to find the quality. You need the quantity in order to find the quality. Because if I'm recruiting 1 in 100 type of people, which was one of the tenacity philosophies, where we're going to find that freaking superstar, I think they come maybe 1 out of every 50 or 1 out of every 100. But if you're recruiting really high quality, you could find them more often, especially if you know what you're looking for. So I want to give you some of the character traits of what I call the recipe of a giant that I put inside the book, inside the mastery class. Here's what I look for. I look for confidence, presence, energy, right? Someone where I could see them across the street and I go, man, that person, whatever they do, they're good at it. I look for someone that has a history of winning, whether it's in sports, whether it's in school, whether it's in leadership, whether it's in their career. I look for people that are coachable, but also independent, which means that they could carry the weight on their own, but they also listen. You know, you don't necessarily know that up front the day you recruit them, but you could find that as you're going through the interview, as you're talking to them. I look for people that are mentally and emotionally stable. Can you find that right away? Do you know? Not necessarily, but there are clues when you're talking to them. I look for competitive, consistent, people who show up that are self-motivated. That's one of the reasons I love recruiting at the gym. Because people at the gym, in most cases, no one's forcing them to go. They went there willingly, on their own. And if they're in shape, man, as someone who tries to be in shape, I know how much work and how much consistency and how much time it takes to get in shape. More of that is done outside of the gym than in the gym. I look for people that are driven by wanting to make an impact, not just make money. Where do you find that? You find that when you're sitting with them on an appointment and you're asking them, hey, if you're going to do this, why are you going to do it? If you're excited about it, why are you excited about it? What is in your life right now for you or your family or your future family that you want to change? And I look for that stuff because if I find those things, those are the people that I want to work with. Winning is a habit. So is quitting. So is giving up. So I look for people who win and they have a pattern of winning in everywhere in their life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And someone who wins when no one's watching, when they're on their own, when they're making decisions of what to eat at the restaurant, and should I follow my diet or should I not? When they're deciding whether to go to the gym or not, should I go to the gym or should I not? I look for that. That's what the Avatar whole blueprint is about. It's how to find the right recruits, how to have a target of what you're looking for.